What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and I currently have Leilani Simon's 8-page indictment sitting right here in front of me on my iPad. And let me just say this. I don't believe there is a single chance in hell that Leilani is going to get away with this. In fact, don't get me wrong, don't take this the wrong way. I am extremely happy that they found Quinton's body, but looking at this indictment, I don't even know if they needed to do that, because Leilani is so stupid that she changed her story in Alibi like 8 or 9 different times, totally contradicting herself every single time. In fact, if you all want me to go over this entire 8-page document, this entire 8-page indictment, let me know down in the comments below, and maybe tomorrow I will sit down and I will read this entire indictment for you all and react to it bit by bit. But in this video, there's just this one thing that I really want to hyper focus on. But first, like I was saying, she's all over the place with her alibis. Do you want to know what Leilani's big alibi was? Do you want to know what Leilani came up with? The story that she thought was going to get her off of these charges? It's almost too funny to even say. After allegedly taking her own son's life, throwing her son in a dumpster, Leilani then concocted this mastermind of a story to tell law enforcement that she left the house that morning not to dump Quinton in a dumpster, but no, she went to meet up with a friend named Misty for some Oragel. I kid you not. That's Leilani's alibi. But that only came after she said that some random person must have came into her house and abducted Quinton. And then law enforcement found out, hey, Leilani, we see you left the house at like 5-something in the morning. Oh yeah, that, the usual. Just out meeting up with a friend for some Oragel at 5 o'clock in the morning. Nothing weird about that. We met up at the gas station. I just wanted some Oragel. And then law enforcement's like, well, wait, Leilani, the gas station? We see here that you were in the Azalea trailer park. And then Leilani's, silly me. Turns out I didn't meet Misty for Oragel at the gas station. I was meeting Misty for Oragel at the Azalea trailer park. And then law enforcement's like, okay. That's a tad bit more believable, but it looks like here you went to the dumpster for some reason. Why was that? Let me say this. Misty, whoever you are, I'm assuming maybe that's her best friend that she would ride around with sometimes during the Quinton Simon case. I don't know, but Misty, Leilani wrapped you all up into her alibi for this. I would hope that you don't know that personally. I'm wondering if Misty knows that Leilani gave like 6 different stories about meeting her. One of her stories was that she met Misty for Oragel at the gas station. And then it was, I met Misty for Oragel at the Azalea mobile home. And then it's like, I did go to the dumpster. That was to throw away some trash. And then it was like, I forgot. I don't even remember Misty. Did Misty even ever meet me? Like I said, I don't want to go over this whole 8-page indictment, but I will make a separate video doing that if you all want me to. But it's just all over the place. But it goes from this idiotic story about meeting Misty for Oragel in 3 different locations while simultaneously throwing away trash. And it evolves into, oh, wait, I have no memory of anything. It started, the first alibi was that someone came into the house and stole Quinton. While nodding towards, oh, it could have been Bubba, Quinton's father. And then her story changed so much about meeting up with this Misty person for Oragel. And then after they kept catching her in lies, she went to, I don't remember anything. Never mind the 6, 7, 8, 9 different stories I already told you all. Now, I don't remember anything. I don't remember meeting Misty. I don't remember going to the Azalea Trailer Park that I already acknowledged that I went to supposedly meet Misty. So that's how quickly her story began to evolve and change. But ultimately, the story that she went with was not a story about Misty. It was not a story about not remembering. Ultimately, what she did was she threw her boyfriend, Danny, under the bus. And she said that Daniel Youngkin had left the home in the early morning hours of October 5th and had traveled to the Azalea Mobile Home Plaza. So she basically tried to pin everything on her boyfriend. But this isn't the first time Leilani has done something like this. In fact, Leilani and Quinton's father, the reason they're no longer together, the reason they broke up is because she got arrested and tried to pin her crimes multiple times on Bubba. So she has a track record of getting caught doing stupid stuff and blaming her significant other. This girl literally got caught breaking into someone's trailer, stealing a jar of change so she could buy drugs. And while getting caught in the process of doing that, blamed it all on her boyfriend. And her boyfriend got locked up. He wasn't even there, didn't even know what was going on. So there's just a lot of backstory here. I mean, if you go through Leilani's past, she's blamed other people for her problems. She's blamed other people for her crimes. And here, when she was put between a rock and a hard place, after getting caught in lie after lie after lie, after crafting these stories about meeting up with Misty, about pretending as if she had amnesia and didn't remember anything, ultimately, she resorted to blaming her boyfriend. Now, considering the fact that Leilani's behind bars and Danny is free, I think it's safe to say that law enforcement must know something. And that's the point I was trying to make in my last video. Judging by the supposed cause of death, it makes it kind of hard for me to believe that no one at the house would have known anything, because there were people at the house. And for her to beat a 20-month-old child to death in that home, in a house full of people, and nobody knew or heard a single cry, a single sound, I find that kind of weird. Especially when you have people in the home that, like Leilani's significant other, someone who I would assume is probably staying in the same room and usually within close proximity of each other. So part of me feels like Danny may have known something and Danny told on Leilani. Maybe Danny got some type of deal, I don't know. But we know Danny walked away free as a bird at least as of right now. And law enforcement doesn't expect to make any more arrests. So I'm feeling like Danny may have said something or told them something about what happened, because they seem pretty confident in this cause of death. And for me, that seems like it would be a hard thing to prove without having someone saying something. And especially considering the fact that Quinton was thrown in a trash dumpster. And, you don't want to think about it, but he was then transported in a trash compactor dump truck and then dropped into a landfill and was out there for over a month. I mean, they're pretty confident in his cause of death, so I don't know what would lead them to believe that, other than possibly someone saying something, and that someone being Danny. Because Danny separated himself and he's gone. I don't think it's anyone else in the house. But looking at this indictment and looking at all the different stories she told, because we know it was a 19-count indictment. You got a murder charge, malice murder, but most of these counts are just counts of her lying to the police over and over and over again. False statement, false statement, false statement, false statement, false statement, false statement. So many false statements, all of them contradicting each other. And when you boil it down, Leilani thought she was going to get away with this by concocting a story about Oragel. Make no mistake about it. When you boil it all down, Leilani thought she was going to get away with this with some weak-ass story about meeting up with someone for Oragel at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't think anyone in the history of mankind has done that. So, as we were sitting here wondering, was this premeditated? Did Leilani have this master plan? Is that why she got away with this for so long? No. Police from day one knew. They had to have known, judging by this indictment and judging by all these false statements. From day one, law enforcement knew that she was dumb and full of shit. Period. There's no other way for me to say it. They knew all along. Because if you look at this indictment, it tells you that, oh, this is a false statement. On this date, here's another false statement. And her stories are all bogus BS. And, part of me, I'm happy in a way that this stretched out for a little while. I'm happy in a way that Leilani was able to stay out here in the free world for a little while, gaining confidence that she was going to be okay. In a dark and twisted way, I'm happy that it seems as if Chatham County gave her like this glimmer of hope, knowing that there was no hope for her. Because looking at this indictment, there was never no hope for Leilani. They were going to bring Leilani in eventually regardless. But it's like they just like, all right, yeah, let's make her think, let's make her comfortable. And then we're going to hit her with the book. We're going to hit her with everything. And we're going to hit her with, so many charges for all of these lies. It is, I'm telling you, it blows my mind that her story ultimately was, I went to go get Oragel. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And I will talk to you all in the next video.